It's something that evolved over time. My background is in movement. I was a dancer, mime artist, actor, and I did a lot of teaching. And when I was teaching in those disciplines, I found that people would often resist. And I was simultaneously, along with movement and expression and theater studies, I was studying personal development for my own use. And so at a certain point in my teaching, what I was studying for myself in personal development started coming in because I wanted to help people get past their resistance, is basically what it was. People tend to think of health, for instance, as being physical. And yet, more and more science, and we're showing that there's a connection between mind and body. And there's actually more than that. There's a connection between body, heart, mind, and spirit. And so holistic well-being is about really supporting people to get well on all those levels because they affect each other. So you really can't be well on one level and not well on another, because that's going to sabotage your well-being. Say someone wants to, for instance, improve their business, and they might want to go to a coach and have the coach say, well, you do this, 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 and this, and you need a business plan, and this is how you do it. Well, what I look at with somebody in terms of when I'm working with someone related to, say, business and improving their business, we might look at where they're sabotaging themselves, because it might be some kind of emotional resistance to doing something that would be important to do. Our thoughts affect our emotions, which affect our attitudes and behaviors, which affect the outcomes. So you can't improve your well-being unless you look at both thoughts, emotions, and attitudes. It's extremely important because our attitudes are going to affect our outcomes. However, sometimes people think that a positive attitude means only appearing only positive. The problem with that is quite often those people will repress the negative. It doesn't make it disappear. What I do with people, I help them really look at and unearth the negative, shine a light in the darkness, as it were. We all have a shadow, what Jungian psychology calls the shadow. And we all have a shadow aspect to ourselves. And that's usually in the subconscious mind. So if we don't know about it, how can we change it? So we shine a light in the darkness, learn what's lurking in the shadow, as it were, and then we can make the changes to be more positive. So it's not just about repression. We're all in adrenal stress. The adrenals are glands that when we're, fight or flight, okay? Lion, fight or flight. And adrenaline gets pumped into the system. That's great in an emergency. But when you live there all the time, it wears the body down. And because of the body-mind connection, emotionally we're worn out, physically we're worn out, mentally we're worn out, spiritually we're worn out. When we breathe, we can start to break through some of that and then open up to the possibility of letting go of some of that stress and living more in the moment and then receiving the love. Love is what heals us ultimately. It's the only thing that can ultimately really heal. So I don't tend to talk about it this way too often because it seems too woo-woo. But really, truly, what I teach, I just don't tend to say it this way, is love. Love for self and love for others.
Thank you for watching A Wise Way. Subscribe to stay updated, share to pass the knowledge, or view our other videos on the left.